This
of
conference
CV.
will now be recorded.
Okay. So this resume will definitely help them, to know you, because there are thousands of CV. For example, yesterday I posted a requirement for a DevOps engineer. Maybe I have received 500 CVs. And nowadays, the very critical and challenging thing in the market is there are many applications which are being built on, in artificial intelligence side, AI tool. So what these AI tools, once you go and apply in that job, that CV goes to the application tracking systems. So what this application tracking system does, it just try to fetch what are the keywords that you have, introduced in your CV. Reason is that people don't have time to go through each and every resume. You feel like, if I have 500 CV, do you believe that I'm going to go through all 500 CVs? No, I'm not. I'll just pick up maybe maximum 5 CVs or resumes, whatever it is. I'll just pick up 5. Out of those 5, I'll just go through, okay, this guy has this. All right, so let me go ahead and speak. Out of these 5, again, I'll reduce 2. I'll just go ahead and speak with the 3. And after speaking with the 3, I concluded that, I just found one right resource which I'm going to go ahead and present it to the hiring manager. So understand, out of those 5 CV resumes, now only one resume is going to the hiring manager. Reason is that we are looking for a right product. We are looking for a right person who really meet our expectation. We are not looking for 500 resumes. So keeping all that in mind, you just need to make sure what is the job description. I'm just giving the second thing which you should keep in your mind when you go ahead and apply for a job. So whenever you look at any job which you are trying to apply, make sure read the job descriptions. Whatever you have, read it multiple times. Understand, it's not just a job title, right? Nowadays there are versatile job titles, so don't focus on the job title. Focus on what skills the employer is looking for, because those skills are very important for your prospect employer. They're least bothered about what is your job title. They're bothered about what you have done it actually. What are you currently doing it? Then only they will decide for your next step. I mean, it's not like, because there are many job title in the market when it comes to the DevOps. Like people are in DevOps, they are calling as a middleware as well, and you will find all the skill sets are listed as a DevOps skill set. So don't focus on just the job title. Focus on what employer has mentioned in the job description. Read it multiple times. Not just that, I would say go through the Google and search it. What are the other job descriptions matching to that? And just read it multiple times. And then once you find yourself that yes, somehow these job descriptions are matching, although the roles are different, then I would suggest go and prepare your resume. And keep that in mind, you are preparing your resume to not just to sell this resume, to sell yourself as a product. So once you'll keep that in mind, then only you will get an interview. That is what the main objective of this resume is, because that plays a vital role when it comes to your resume and when you sell it to the prospect employer. So likewise, I just given is an example what you need to include in your resume. So basically, it's just a document and in a general discussion, but it is really a very important document which is really gonna play in your future goal, in your future career, which is gonna play a vital role. So keeping all that in mind, you have to prepare your resume, keep in your mind that you are as a product, and the aim to prepare this resume to get you an interview. Because once you get an interview, then only you can explain yourself who you are to the hiring manager. And until unless you don't get an interview, you might be an excellent resource. You will have all the skills which hiring manager is looking for. You will get everything you will have everything what hiring manager or recruiters are looking for. But if you don't mention in your resume, it's no worth. It's nothing. even you have 20 years of experience, it does not matter to the hiring manager. Because if they're a person who is like 80% match, but he has explained everything in his resume or in her resume, definitely he or she is going to get an interview. So you are losing that sight because you didn't mention your expertise in your CV, keeping that you are 20 years of experience or you have 10 years of experience, you have everything. No, that's not right. That's not what I, being a recruiter, go through your resume. I focus on the skill sets. I share a job description and I look into the resume that what are you, whether you are meeting my expectations or not. If you work on DevOps, let's say for an example, so in those, what have you done it? If you just mention job title as a DevOps, I have done this, and done. No, I'm looking for what are the key skills. You work on Kubernetes, you work on, you have experience working on Kibana, you have working on CI/CD pipelines. So make sure you explain that, because it's just a matter of 6 seconds. I'll come to that topic as well. It's just a matter of 6 seconds wherein we spin on the resume and then we say whether in or out. That's how we decide. We don't spend our maximum, I would say, the 30 seconds, not beyond that. We don't spend an hour or so to go through your resume, to go through each and every skill set. We do not. We just simply go through and spend 6 seconds or maximum 30 seconds when we feel like, yes, you can be the right fit. So you just need to make sure you are selling yourself. So to sell yourself, you need to keep that in mind, that you are not just going and getting an opportunity. You're just trying to get hard to make sure that you get an interview. So say for an example, right? You might have noticed in sales people, right? They try hard when they comes to do any kind of sales. Nowadays, people are reaching out to due to this pandemic, right? Most of the banks, salespeople, they are trying to reach, just take this policy, this is a health policy, and this and that, and they're trying hard. They will try all the possible way to convince you that this is really an important to you. This is really an important to you, and then they make you convinced that you buy it, right? So it's not that they tell about that HDFC is a brand and HDFC doing this, HDFC doing this. No, they do not. They try to explain that. They try to explain that, you know what, if you buy this policy, your parents are covered, your child is covered, your family is covered. I mean, if you have any kind of a challenge, if you gets hospitalized, it would be reimbursed, or you will have cashless. So they will try to everything which is 100% possible for your benefit, not on their benefits. The idea is end of the they are getting benefited, because you are going to pay a policy which is whatever this 2,500 per month EMI, you are going to pay them. So idea is they're getting benefit, but they will try to convince you that this is the policy which is made for you and you have to buy it. Then only you can survive it. So that is how any job seeker who is trying to find out a new opportunity, make sure that you need to convince to the hiring manager and recruiter, make sure that they convince with you that yes, you are the product that they are looking for. You are the guy that they are looking for this particular project or for this particular skill sets. Because end of the day, see, you again, the benefit is for you as well, because once you get an interview, you can just explain that what you have done, what are you doing. But make sure that when you are writing your resume, it looks like it should present that it's not you, it is you as a product, and this resume is selling you because it's advertisement document for you. It's an advertisement document for you. So your document should reflect that it is way beyond you are an awesome, you're an amazing person, because every organization is looking for amazing. It's not just manageable. Okay, I can just this is the resume, okay, let's conduct this interview. Okay, he was okay, he is like, because organization is not expecting that. Organization is looking for an amazing person. So amazing person, he could be in a good educational qualification, He should have a learning attitude. He should be the future leader. That's what every organization tries to hire an employee. That's how they are looking for in your candidature. It's not just your skill sets. It's a lot of things which they try to understand that. So make sure that you sell yourself as an amazing product. Once you sell yourself as an amazing product, I'm gonna make sure you are going to get it. So that's how I was just trying to explain how your how this resume is important to contribute in your future employment. So keep all these things in your mind. Now the most and important thing I'm going to explain you is what the employers want at the end. These are the 6 points which I was trying to explain you. These are the 6 things which employers want in a candidate resume. One is summarize, not detail first. So you just need to make sure that in the first paragraph you just try to summarize it, who you are, how is your expertise, how these expertise are important to the organization. Because if you are not in a position to explain who you are in a very first or in a summary paragraph, then it would be really challenge for them to understand. So keeping that in your mind, please summarize and try to sell in the first paragraph, which is your summary, to make sure that this is what their expectations are and you're meeting that expectations in a very short and simple way. Just convince them, because normally what it happens is all the employers, all the recruiters, they go through just one paragraph, which is the one you call it as a summary, or you can as objective. For freshers they mention objective, but the people who are experienced, it is called as a summary. So you just need to in the summary paragraph you need to explain yourself all the possible way wherein you feel the employer or the recruiters or the hiring managers get convinced that yes, you can be an asset for the organization. Let's call him for an interview. The very first thing that they look into it. So if you meet that expectation, okay, that's good. Next, the second thing that they look for in what you offer, not what you need. This is the second thing which I was just trying to explain you earlier. They are looking for who you are, what kind of the services that you can offer to them. It's not what you need is. I am looking for this, I'm looking for, no, they are not. They're looking for what are you offering, what can be the best fit for them, what can you bring into the table for your employer, future employer, what can be the benefit for them to hire you. And that's how people are asking during the interview, why should I hire you? That's where we are. So you need to sell yourself there. Why should they hire you? You just explain that you have done this. It's basically there are 3 things which I used to say here, which employer look for is car. The challenges, CAR, car, C as a challenge. So what were the challenges that you face? And you need to explain that yes, I have worked on this particular project and these were the challenges, and then how did you tackle those challenges. So you need to explain that okay, this is what I have done it, and keeping all that in mind, this is what the solution that I have provided to my organization, and that was an asset for the organization, or you have saved a lot of amount for the organization, and you have helped the organization to take it to the next level. So keeping all this in mind, you just need to make sure that you are trying to convince in your resume all the possible way to make sure that your prospect employer is getting convinced with your resume that yes, you are the one they are looking for. Because these car I'll just say again, it's CAR, C as in challenge, A as in action, and R as in results. So when we read any resume, we look for these three particular things. Okay, what was the challenge that you faced? And what was the problem it was basically? And when it was a problem, what was your contribution? What are the steps that you have taken to solve that problem? And then what was the result for it? Then when it was a result, then what kind of the result was? Whether it was a positive impact, what it has helped to the organization. So basically in these three care, what we try to understand, what gives you pride in your work, and how does this relate to the success of your current job that you are working with, or in the past that you have worked on. We try to understand, did you really increase the sales? Being a salesperson, you save the money of the organizations, or otherwise you increase the productivity. What was it? And did you really meet an impossible deadline? If yes, so what was the extra effort that you did it? And what was the benefit of the organization that you did it? Did you really conceive and design something like a product which really helped for the organization to grow, to take a next step? Did you really assume that new responsibility that were given to you, you have tackled it, you have taken that responsibility? Did you really introduce, something new in the organization which really impacted the growth of the organization, or that save a lot of the dollars and euros for the organization? So these are the things which we try to understand, that what kind of person you are. Now you just need to, next thing is you need to sell your values that I was just explaining, not objectives. What are you looking for? No, what value that you have created to the organization. You save a lot of amount to the organization, you help to build a product, or what exactly you have done it. You just need to explain that, because that will impact to the hiring manager, that okay, you have done it this, you save a lot of things. Okay, you propose a new product which really helped the organization to grow. Okay, that's interesting, right? And then write accomplishment, not activities. What you was doing on daily basis, we at least bother about, because everybody does. If I receive thousands of the project managers resumes, they keep writing the same activities. But what was your accomplishments, what you achieved in your daily basis activities? That matters a lot for me. I'll try to understand, okay, being a project manager, you get a new customer, or you convince the customer to sell your services, and customer has accepted it, isn't it? So we try to understand that, okay, you have good accomplishments. All right, that makes sense. Now next is evidence, not opinion. Nobody wants opinion. Everybody has one single opinion. If you ask me, I have another opinion. If I ask my colleague, he has another opinion. If I ask my another colleague, he has another opinion. If I go to the market, I ask someone, hey, this is what something I'm trying to do, they'll get another opinion. So for an example, you try to start a business, and if you ask 50 people, they will give 50 opinions. No, if it comes to your employees, they don't want to listen that. They want to know what are the evidence for it. What really have you done it? Everybody has given an opinion, but keeping all those opinion in your mind, what have you produced? What made that into the results? What was the conversion for it? So they try to understand that. Now the very important thing is write relevant, not excessive. Whatever you're writing in your resume, make sure that it is relevant. It talks about you. It convinces that how you are gonna make sure that you can be an asset for their organization. It's not something you're writing, I have done this, I have done this, I have done this. But what? You have done a lot of things. I read 5 resumes of DevOps engineers they have done. I have 5, I'm going through 5 resumes. They have done a lot of things. But who has done an amazing? That's what I would look for. I'll go through the one who really has done an amazing. Then only I'm gonna go ahead and read that resume and I'm gonna talk to the resource. Otherwise, everybody is similar for me, and I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to go through their CV. I don't have that much of time because I'm using application tracking systems. I have a lot of applications, and I cannot go through it because right now, again, this pandemic, because of this pandemic, there are many people who are going to be laid off, and then again there would be a new challenge. So it really helps, guys, for you to understand that how important it is. Don't just throw your resume. I would suggest, don't just throw your resume. You go through the job descriptions multiple times. Understand others expectation, not yours, because that is very important. Read others mind, not yours. Whatever you have, you keep it in yourself, but think that what others are thinking, what employers or hiring managers or recruiters are thinking, what they need. You just need to make sure that you meet their expectation, not yours. And that would really helpful for you to sell yourself as a product. Because any product in the market which we go through is, we just want to make sure that we buy the right product, not just anything. That's how the market is. So people are the companies who are selling their product. They do the marketing, and that's how we come to know. We go through any product which we try to buy. Let's say, for an example, even if I go and try to buy a refrigerator, what I do is I do multiple research. Okay, what is the configuration, how it is, what people do, comments in that, what is their suggestion, whether I should buy it. Even if I go to the Amazon, like there are the product listed out, and if I want to buy something, I just go to the reviews, what people says about this product. If people are saying 50% negative, I don't buy it. If people are saying 80%, okay, you can go ahead and buy it, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and try to buy it. Because there are thousands of product with similar product with the different companies. Refrigerator is higher refrigerator from many, right? So what we try to understand it, who is giving me the best, who can meet my expectations. So that's how the way we go and try to buy a product from the market, and we think that who is going to give me a best possible. That's how we try to buy the product. And likewise, keep that in your mind, that that's how this hiring manager, recruiters, and your prospect employer is looking for. Who is the best? It's not thousands are the best. It's only one who is the best, who can meet their expectation, and that is how they are going to finalize it to get them an interview. Because until unless you don't market yourself, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows. I mean, if I could be 20 years of experience in DevOps, or it could be 20 years of experience being a project manager or a program manager. But even if I just mention I'm project manager and just throw out my resume to the employer, they don't want to listen to me until I explain them who am I in the resume. Then only. So make sure when you prepare your resume, even you have 20 years of experience, explain who you are and how you can contribute to the organization, what you have achieved so far, what are the challenges that you face, and you ensure that you have come up with the solutions. Because this is all about, you are going to provide the solutions, not a problem. Everybody has a problem. Every organization is passing through a problems, but they are looking for one single person who can really solve their problems. So if you are the person who can provide the solutions to them, that is going to be an impact for the organization, and that is how that organization is looking for you. So make sure you sell your resume in all the possible way. I'll just share you few examples. Just give me a minute. Now you can see this. Right, so it's really tough for me to understand. So do you think that I will go through this resume? Absolutely no. I'm not going to go out and speak with this resource. These are in Belgium, but nothing is there. So why should I spend a time on that? I'll definitely look for some other resource who has really designed. I'll share you. I'm just trying to help you with a couple of CVs wherein I can definitely explain you why I'm keep rejecting the CVs. So I had a couple of, but I don't know where I have kept it in some other laptop. It seems. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah. So again, this guy, he has almost 13 years of experience. You can see that, right? He's almost 13 years of experience, but still, I'm not impressed with his resume. See what he has written. Projects are somewhere, and then education is somewhere, and it's not looking interesting. Even after that, I asked him to do some little changes and try to explain this is how he has done it, but still, again, somehow he has tried to write it, but again, I didn't prefer him to move forward. I kept it aside, right? So the reason I'm just trying to explain is people have, I don't know, he has 13 years of experience, but looks like his first resume when he shared with me. I asked him to do some little changes to do that, but do you feel like, it's something which he has written interesting? I don't feel that. See, he has mentioned consider Sigma, what he has written was involved in this. No, that's not proper. Senior software engineer, Wipro, what he has done was involved in this. What you have, you are not trying to sell anything. Just okay, fine, thank you. I have shared my CV. It is now recruiter's responsibility to talk to me. Nobody is going to come back to you until unless there's an exceptional case wherein you're back and forth from the client, and then you feel like, oh my god, how to and what to. Then it could be possible that we do try to interact with the people. So these kind of resumes is really not going to work. It's not going to work for sure until as it's not very rare and we are not able to find out talent. I just spoke with him because with the combination of Python and Java I didn't find in Belgium, so that's the only reason I was just trying to speak with him. But still he didn't meet an expectation, and then finally I have to get him rejected. So that's the challenge that we are facing right now. So that's only thing has prompted me to make sure that I just conduct this webinar. And let me just share you, I have some samples to you where it looks interesting. let's say here. So this guy has written, senior Java developer with 15 years of experience in IT and this particular technology. Then he has explained Java developer experience includes what it is: strong in programming, JSP. He has designed the pattern. He has worked on the AWS coaching, right? And then he also explained what kind of the industry that he has worked on, right? So it makes me sense like, okay, he has worked on this, makes it. Then immediately he has mentioned his technical expertise, because these are the pointers that we are looking for when we go through the resume. Make sure that if it is relevant to the job description, we go on and speak. So he has explained immediately, he summarized himself, okay, who is he, what he has done, and then he has explained his technical expertise, and then his professional experience. He has explained what is the client he has worked for, what was his role and his roles and responsibilities, and what was the durations. So it's making me very clear what is he doing, what is his roles and responsibility, and what he is basically, he tried to explain himself. He has worked on these particular tools, and okay, so that's how it was relevant to our expectations, and then we go ahead and share it with the customers. Right. So let's see. See, it's very clear what he's trying to explain, what is the duration. So that's done. And see here, it's pretty much clear. He has explained everything. And then end of the day, he has done his education. So he has mentioned that. Okay. So the idea is, I'm just trying to explain that be clear. What are you writing about? What are you mentioning in your resume? And be confident. The one more factor which I actually feel when I talk to the resources in the recent as well, always there is an additional information when employers say, knowledge on this particular technologies, right? So what is my recommendation to all of you is, when they say knowledge, I always recommend you to please mention in your resume whatever the skill that they're looking for in terms of the knowledge, and make sure you go through the training for those particular. Let's say if the employer is looking for someone who, definitely being a DevOps engineer, you should have Kubernetes, but you did not work on, and they just ask that you should have a knowledge of Kubernetes. Make sure you add that skills in the resume, and make sure that you go through the training at least. And if you're not in a position to go through the training, please do not mention in your resume. Reason I'm telling you, when they will ask, you have mentioned that you have a knowledge on Kubernetes, and if you don't know that, it's really not gonna cut, and you're not gonna be best possible for hiring manager. So at least if you mention you have a knowledge of Kubernetes, once you get an interview from a hiring manager, and when he put up a question, do you know Kubernetes? And if you have gone through a training, you will at least have a concept how it is, and how it is gonna impact on you, and how you are gonna contribute by learning this. Because end of the day, the aim is to hire a right person. Because the reason I share this, like I have faced a lot of times that people have mentioned they have this, but when it comes to the real-time scenarios, when we ask this question, you have mentioned that you have knowledge on this. Can you explain what is this product is all about? What is this application is all about? There was like a stuck. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I just mentioned because there was it is in the job description. So I thought that this is gonna be helpful. So yes, it is going to be helpful, but you just need to learn it. Spend 1 day 2 day time to learn that particular tool or application which you include in your resume. Because please do not include anything which you don't know, because you never know when hiring manager or recruiter can ask that question. Okay, you have mentioned this, tell me what it is. And once you say no, you didn't prepare, you don't know, it's really a bad impact, and then and there your impression is gone. It's gone. It's how you design your resume, what you have done, it's fabulous, amazing, but the moment you say you don't know this, oh my god, I'm sorry. So you make sure that you just trying to sell all the possible way. It's not you have just mentioned that. You be confident what you mention, you be confident what you have written in your resume, because that is our document again which is trying to sell to you. So if your document is really well prepared, amazing, you make sure that you're also amazing. You don't feel like, oh, you are just looking for a job and that's it. You get a job and that's okay. No, you're amazing because you have spent an hour time to prepare your resume. And if you are amazing, then make sure if your resume is amazing, you should be amazing. So once you think that way, I'm gonna make sure it is gonna be helpful for you to sell not just your resume, to sell you as a product to your employer. All right, guys. So that's what I had to share. So I think I'm done. So if you guys have any questions, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Sayed, that was a good one. Thank you for this wonderful session. I just wanted to compliment and say thank you for this session.
Thank you, dear. So anyone has a question, dear?
Hello,
Hi,
Assalamu
Syed.
alaikum.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Syed. This is Neeraj. I have a question. So, I just want to know, is there a tool which actually detects any kind of formatting errors? There can be some banned words which we should not use. So, is there a tool like that which can identify potential formatting issues or words that can should not be used, same words used multiple times? So, those kind of things to identify that in resume. Is there a tool in the market?
As per as my knowledge, no, nothing as such. It is all depend on you, how you design your resume. There are many websites. If you go through the resume template, you will get it, right? But not as such, wherein they helpful in you doing that. But there are multiple, in Facebook, there is a campaign they're running with resume review. You can go through, you subscribe their pages, and you can share your resume to them, and they can help you with that. It's free. It's basically called as a free resume review. Okay, you can just share your resume, they can help you with that. And there is one more website, Go Resume. You can go and share your resume, but they charge, it seems, right? You can go ahead and take their services, but not as such, because everyone who is gonna design your basically resume, they're going to charge. But that's the one, the free resume review is something which is on. So if you need help, maybe you can share your resume. I can definitely help you with in sharing that. I have a couple of formats. So if you can just help me with your email ID, and you can just approach me, I'll share you a couple of format as well. There are various format which people use it. So you just need to do is you just need to dump your resume in that. So you need not to do any changes. You just I'll share you the format. You just need to dump your resume, and that's it.
Oh, sure, Syed. That helps. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Uh, Hi, it's Syed here. Uh, it was a really
Hi.
productive session for us, and I just wanted to ask uh, the template you were talking about. How are
Mhm.
you going to share it? Like, do we have to share our email IDs over here, or take it offline with you?
I think I would suggest they might share the feedback form, so you can just share your email ID, or maybe you can share to CGC email, and then I'll collect it from SharePoint.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Syed Masood Ali. I would like to ask regarding uploading your profile over multiple job searching website, for example, Naukri, Monster, all those things. So basically, I heard like if you upload your resume on multiple websites, on a lower level like that, like Shine.com or something like that, and on the other hand, you have your profile on Naukri.com as well. So does it impact your credibility to the employer? Like you are available on Shine.com and Naukri.com as well. So does it impact that, okay, how desperate he is to get this job?
Thank you. Interesting question, but honestly speaking, no. Because see, having said that, like you are looking for a job, right? It does not matter whether that's how these thousands of job portals are, because you're trying to get a new job. So you're trying to market your resume. It could be Shine, it could be Monster, it could be Indeed, or whatever it is. It does not matter for them. Reason I'm telling you is that every employer does not has access for Shine. Every employer has not an access for Monster. They don't have access for Indeed. They don't have access for whatever the job boards are. Every employer has a different set of job portal access, so it really doesn't impact on that to your credibility. It is always good to have it, because we never know who has what, right? So it's okay for as long as you're looking for a job. But once you are done, you achieve your target, you have a job, I would suggest remove it from the job portals. Reason in that, if in case your current employer look into it, then they feel like you're still in a job hunt. So it creates a bad impact for your current employer. So once you get your job, I would suggest remove from all the job portals. Hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, yeah, almost. Thank you very much. I have one more question actually.
Please.
Yeah, is this a is there a software available wherein we can create standardized resume, so that the points which you mentioned just now, which or we can check all those marks. And one more question is, how to approach a new company a better way, while you're already working in the same industry, and should not be, is there a way actually, a better way of approaching new companies apart from these job portals?
Yeah, definitely. See, as long as, I would suggest, the very first thing is if there is a demand in that organization, right? If there is a demand, you feel like you saw somewhere a job posted in it could be anywhere in LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook, or whatever the job portals, Monster, Shine, whatever it is, right? Because you need to go and approach the person with an evidence that you have noticed this job, and then you're trying to approach, and you feel like you are best fit for this. Then only that is the right way to approach. But still, people are still open in the industry to accept any request. It could be LinkedIn, because normally you will try to approach people on LinkedIn, wherein that is the common platform for everybody. Whomsoever is trying to look for a job, they try to reach out to the recruiter in the LinkedIn, right? In case whether they don't have the job description or not, but just because I get a lot of requests, I get a lot of messages saying that, hey, I'm in a job market looking for a job, do you have something? So that's not wrong, you can still approach, right? That's not a problem, because we never know, like today I don't have a job, maybe tomorrow if I have something, I can approach to you. So it's building the connections or building the relationship within the industry.
Yeah, Alam, I have a query. Like, if a guy is having experience working in multiple companies, and if you go on expand the responsibilities for each and every company, then the length of the resume will get increased and the number of pages will get increased. So, in that case, what you will be suggesting, that we should restrict the responsibilities, or how we should design it?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat it again?
Yeah, what my query is, like, if a person is having experience working in multiple companies, like five different companies, and he'll be having
Ah,
responsibilities of each and every company.
mhm.
So if we go and include all the responsibilities in each and every company, the length of the resume will get increased. I mean, the number of pages will be increased.
Right.
So in that case, what we should do?
See, I would always suggest if you have similar roles and responsibilities, then please make it summarize in just 2 to 3 pages. If you have similar roles and responsibilities, keep that in mind. If you have similar roles and responsibilities in all those 5 companies, just summarize in 2 to 3 pages. That's enough. And if you have handled a different, because people are there, I have noticed like people have come up from the call center background, then they move into Java development, then move into the project management. That's the versatile profile that we have. So my recommendation is try to explain that. But if people who have the experience or the roles and responsibilities similar to their 5 years career, just summarize it in 2 or 3 pages maximum. That's enough.
Let's consider
If you have
if we having a
international experience, how do you, portray into, how do you showcase that experience in a resume that should shine, above all?
Okay, so the question is like if you have international experience, how do you showcase in that, right? Definitely, when once you mention, your client name, definitely you mention that location as well. Make it in bold, so whenever individual is going through, he'll just understand that okay, you have worked on this company on this particular location. So that by default, it comes to our mind that yes, you have an international experience. Even though if not in summary, you can just explain that you have worked on this particular project for this particular customers in this particular country or whatever. You can explain it in a summary, the very first page again, because that is what we are going to read it. So it is very important for you to explain in the very first page in a summary for each and everything which you are going to explain in the bottom. I mean, just 2 3 pages. Just summarize it in the first page, because that is what is going to be impact on your resume, which we are going through and in the very initial stage. Yes, please.
Hi, Priya. What is ATS screening and how does it work?
I'm sorry.
What is ATS screening for this resume process and how does it work?
ATS, do you want me to show you ATS as well? ATS is basically application tracking system. So what it happens is, whenever you apply for any job, right? You apply for any job that goes to the system, the application tracking system, right? So the number of time you have mentioned that particular, let's say I'm having said that I'm for an example, I'm looking for a Java developer. It's combination, like I would say the full stack combination of front end and back end, right? So normally you will mention you work on Java, J2E, Hibernate, Spring, right, and SQL or whatever database that you have used on, and then you work on React, Angular, Node.js in the front end, and HTML, CSS, jQuery, right? So what it happens is, now whenever you share your resume, that goes to the application tracking systems, and we get a notify that we have received this resume. Do you think that it is interesting because he has this list of the skill sets? So that notification comes to us when you submit or when you apply for any job which is posted in the internet. Once you click on apply and attach your resume, that goes to the system, and system comes to us and say that hey, because that is an automation tool, right, end of the day. So that comes to say, hey Sayed, this is what it is. I mean, this resource has applied, this is the CV that he has shared, and these are the skill set that he has worked on. Would you be interested in speaking with? So I just go ahead and click on that resume. I go through the first page. Okay, he has worked on this. That's how it works actually. So if I look or if I feel like yes, he's interesting, then I go ahead and talk to the resource. If I don't feel it, then I simply reply, thank you for sharing your CV and whatever the reasons are. I just make sure that I reply to the people, because today if they are not meeting my expectation, maybe tomorrow they can meet. So just to make sure that people don't feel like I just share my resume and nobody has responded. So it's my personal courtesy, I would say. I make sure that anything which comes to me, I just reply to the people.
I have two more questions actually. Is there any country-wise formats available? Because you might have screened like various, international profiles as well. So, have you seen a different format for a specific country, and for India different, and Canada, America? And the second question is,
Hello. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
oh, okay, okay. Shall I repeat the question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, is there any country-wise formats available in the market? Because you might have screened various candidates from various countries, from America, Canada, something like that. So if someone is applying for this kind of countries, so being in India, is there a specific format we need to follow or something like that?
See, there are various resume format, okay, that are available in the market. So it's not a specific in terms of the country wise, it is in terms of the organization wise. Okay, so yes, you said like I work for United States, I work for Europe, Canada, Mexico, many countries, right? It's not as a specific as a country wise, it is organization wise. So few organization like something else, few organization like something else. So that's how it is. But the idea is for you, you just make it very simple and explain your contact information, I would say, your summary of your profile. You explain your what is the client that you work for, what was the location, duration, your roles and responsibilities. It's enough. If there is anything which the organization want to do modification before sharing, I mean the recruiter want to do any modification before sharing to the hiring manager, he or she himself does that. But generally as a country specific, no, not as such. Yeah.
Hi, Alim here.
Yes.
Yeah, my doubt is I have a gap in my professional career. Then shall I have to mention that gap in the resume, or how can I handle this situation?
Yes, you have to mention, and there should be the reason. Whenever you're mentioning that you have this professional gap, you need to explain the reason why it was and why it is. That is very important. Do not just mention that there is a gap. Mention there is a reason, because see, we do receive a resumes wherein specifically in case of female, they have once they have the baby, carrying baby, that given point of time, they just mention they have gap, right? So they mention that, and we understand that yes, that is the reason. So anybody who has any gap, please mention that reason. I'm telling you, like, if really I like your candidature, if I really like your expertise, it does not matter for me whether you have a gap or not. But if in case you hide that and you sell it, and once you come to the interview and you explain me that, that's really bad impact on me. I would say, why didn't you explain that in a very initial stage, right? So explain what is the gap and what was the reason for it. Anything has, on whatever you have mentioned, everything has a reason. So please try to explain the reason. What is the reason for it? So if you will explain the reason, we do understand that. If there is a really a genuine reason, we'll take care of.
I have one more question.
Please.
And I changed multiple organizations. Like in within 7 years, I changed to 6 companies. But some of the companies are contract. So within 6 months, I could be changed. Is it any impact on my resume?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because every organization, basically I would say the reputed organization, who are, they always looking for consistent people, It's not this all the time inconsistency. They really don't like that. So they are looking for consistent, because reason I'm telling is that, for example, let's say you every 6 months you change your job, and not even a single organizations who is looking for a permanent employee for a permanent role, they are not looking for someone who is just like a job seeker all the time. They are looking for people who can be an asset for the organization, and they are really looking for a long-term relationship with the employee. So keeping that in mind, yes, it is going to be impact, because consistency is something which is really important in your resume or in your career, because there is certain limit of your inconsistency, 1 2 3 4 years, 5 years, and later that you have to maintain it. Otherwise you will not gain a trust of your future or prospect employer, that whether you will stay with him or not. And that's how in this inconsistency, I think that the contract jobs are coming into the picture in the market. In fact, it's started in India as well. Earlier it was in Europe, America, and other countries, but now in India it's started. Right. So if you are a contractor, if you're doing on a contract basis, it does not matter, because you have a reason that you work as a contractor. But if you are being a permanent full-time employee, and if you are inconsistent, it is going to impact. Hope I answered your question.
Hello,
Yes.
hello. This is Abdul Wajid. Sir,
Yes.
I have a doubt that, sir, I am working in a company in
Mm-hmm.
which, sir, the condition that first year is training and another
Mm-hmm.
year is, sir, I have completed my 2 years. Can I write these 2 years as my experience in my resume?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Any more questions, please?
I have one more question.
Yes, please.
If in the organization, if we are in bench period, that bench period, how can I mention in the resume? Otherwise, we have to mention that that also experience, or how can I?
No, I would not recommend that. I would not recommend, because that is organization decisions, right? They don't have a project, so I won't recommend that. Do not mention that you're on bench.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question regarding Naukri. For example, I am working in Paxset. So I've been working since 2.5 years. So
Mm-hmm.
if I want to apply in other companies, so in Naukri we can't specify, we don't know what they are looking for. So is it possible to write? Is it possible what we have done we have to put that in our resume, or what the market is looking for we should have put that in?
Now, if you are just uploading your resume in the Naukri, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
You have to mention what you have done it. That's very simple, because you don't know what the employers are looking for and who is. But yes, once you receive any job descriptions from the recruiters, from your prospect employer, or anybody who reaches out to you, you ask them the job description, and then once you have job description, go through it and tell them, you'll share your updated resume. Once you have job description, read it multiple times, and then accordingly update your resume and share it to the recruiters for the particular organization.
Mm, thank you.
Welcome, sir. So any more questions, please?
Sir, you previously said that one review page is there for where we can freely review our resumes? Can you please mention that one?
Free resume review. There is a page in Facebook.
Can you just show me that so that I can visit that page?
That's what it is. I just ping it in the chat window because my Facebook is not open again. It will take time. So it's free resume review. You just search in your Facebook and you'll get it easily.
Okay. In Facebook we have to search. Huh?
Yes, in Facebook you
Okay.
just type in search free resume review. You'll get it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, so I think that we don't have any questions, or still you have any more question, guys?
Yeah, I think we are done with the question. Thank you everyone for joining this session, and thank you so much, Mr. Syed Alam, for your valuable time and sharing a lot of useful insight. And I see this is very critical information, and a lot of time people, although they were having a skill, but they are not able to showcase that. It's very, very critical session, and the recording will be available. You can again go back and see this session. And once again, thank you, Mr. Syed Alam. So with this, we'll
All
just
right,
close the session. And as Mr. Syed Alam mentioned, in future also you can reach us out, and we'll connect you with Mr. Syed Alam. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
thank you, Shobh. Thank you so much. Thank you, team.